Hey you guys, my name is Billy, I'm 18 years old, I'm from Memphis, Tennessee, and this is going to be my coming out story and kind of how I knew I was gay. I'm going to try to make this short because I don't want to take up too much of y'all's time today. So, when I was in kindergarten, I always had my attention on the boys. I never really had my attention on the girls, really. Um, it was just, I always had my attention on the boys. And fast forward to 7th grade, that's when I really knew at that point that I was gay. But keep in mind, I was super in denial about it. I did not want to admit it to myself or to anybody else at all. And so, you know, it was just a very difficult time for me because I felt that I had nobody to talk to, and also I didn't even want to admit it to myself, so I didn't even want to admit it to anybody else. So, you know, it really took a lot for me to finally be okay with myself and just embrace it. And it took me years to finally come to terms with who I am. And also, at that time, it was also very difficult too because people would ask me, they would say, "Billy, are you gay? Are you gay?" And I would say, no. Why do you think that? What do you think that? And they would say, "Oh, well, there's just something about you, and I just wanted to know." And I would say, no, don't ask me that again because I'm not. And so just don't think that. And it wasn't an everyday thing, but it was just every so often, and that really attacked my self-esteem because I felt so awful for who I was, and I really wanted to change it, and I hoped that I would one day be able to change who I was. And I felt so bad that that was who I was, and I just forever wanted to know why I was the way I was. And it was a very depressing time for me. And so I remember watching this talk show one time. I don't remember which talk show it was, but all I remember was that there was this ex-husband and ex-wife that had been married for so many years, and then eventually the husband had said, to her that he had came out to her and, as gay, and they were still good friends and everything like that, but, he was talking about how, he had a boyfriend and all that, after getting divorced, coming out and all that stuff, and I was so mortified that that was going to be me, that I was going to grow up and get married to a woman, and that years down the road, I would end up having to come out to her, excuse me, and that really scared me, and that attacked my self-esteem even more because I felt so bad for who I was. And so, in the summertime of 2015, as we all know, gay marriage was legalized for all 50 states in the United States. So, around that time, I had really, truly started to see that there were thousands more out there that were just like me. And I started to become overwhelmed with joy. And so I slowly started to accept myself and think, well, this isn't a bad thing because I'm not alone in this. There are thousands more just like me. So I came out to my good friend Courtney. She was the first person that I ever came out to. And I remember one day I was at her house before I had to go to work, and I was telling her, I said, there's something that I really want to tell you, Courtney, but I really don't know how to say it. And then she just started going down like this list, and she was just, ooh, she was kind of like, well, eventually she had said, well, does it have to do with your sexuality? And I said, yes. And I had said, well, I'm attracted to boys. I've always been. And at this point, I had never said the words, I'm gay. I had never said those words in my life. And so at that point, I still didn't say it. And so the easiest way for me to say it was, I am attracted to boys, and I've always been that way. And let me tell you, it was like a big weight was lifted off of my shoulders. Like, I felt so much better that I finally talked about it, because I had never ever talked to anybody about it before. Like, I had never said a word to anybody about it before. And so I had bottled all that up for years and years, and that was the best feeling that I had ever had, I think, that I had finally talked to her about it. And she was so supportive, because she was telling me how, there's nothing wrong with who I am, and that it's completely normal, and that, not to worry about what other people think. And it was just very, very, very overwhelming. And then, so I came out to my mom and my brother, and they were okay with it. And then I came out to my dad, and he was okay with it. And I remember my dad was telling me, he said, well, I don't care, it's just who you are, but the only thing that I advise you is just to be careful who you tell, because someone might try to hurt you. Because my dad, he's like really protective, and so he was just telling me, just be careful who you tell, because someone might try to hurt you. And so I understand where he's coming from with that being said. And so then eventually I came out publicly on my Snapchat, because I have a good amount of people from my school on there, and so I just wanted to just come clean and just admit it, And so I had came out, I don't remember what I said, but the gist of it was, I had said that I was gay, and that if anybody didn't like it, that they were free to unfollow me or unadd me or whatever. And so after I posted that, I got a lot of support, actually. I got an overwhelming amount of support, actually. So people were messaging me, they were texting me, and they were saying, Billy, that was so brave of you. I'm so proud of you for that, and I'm looking up to you for that because of what you did. And that felt really good, because I always thought that I was going to be ridiculed and criticized for it, but a lot of people were more supportive than I actually thought. And so I feel really good now that I'm being my true self, and that I'm not having to hide who I am, because this is who I am. And if God himself gave me an opportunity to change my sexuality, to be honest, I wouldn't change it, because this is who I am, and I'm proud of who I am, because there's just really no other way to explain it. It's just who I am, and I know the truth that being gay is not a choice, and that it's simply who you are. And I'm glad that I know the truth about that. And for anybody that's watching this and they feel lost, or they feel like they have no one to talk to, I'm here for you. I will leave an email in the description below, and I will try to respond to anybody that needs someone to talk to, because I know what it feels like to not have anybody to talk to, because it is just an awful place. And and if anybody feels that there's something wrong with them because they are gay, and that they are still in the closet or something like that, I just want y'all to know that there is nothing wrong with who you are, that you are perfect the way you are, and don't try to change to get others to like you or anything like that, because this is who you are, and that you're beautiful the way you are. And I really, really, really cannot stress that enough. There's just nothing wrong with you, and that it's who you are. And I really have no idea what else to say, because I am pretty much done here. Yeah. And I wish everybody the best. I wish everybody have a very good weekend, and hopefully I'll see y'all soon. See ya.